Alright, so I've seen lots of articles and videos trying to figure out who the Ruth Doctor is, and while there are loads of good theories out there, I especially recommend Philip Hawkins' video on why the Ruth Doctor isn't a pre-Hartnell Doctor. I want to talk today about a theory that I subscribe to that I think hasn't been talked about nearly enough. It's a theory that I really like. It doesn't retcon a ton of canon, it ties things up pretty well, and it's a pretty cool plot line too. So we're going to talk about that theory today on the Doctor Who Guide.
The best box set that you can buy for Doctor Who.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Doctor Who Guide, a community where it's all about helping each other grow our knowledge collection and connection with other Doctor Who fans. I'm your host Alex Patterson, and today we're talking about the Ruth Doctor theory. And once again, do check out Philip Hawkins' video on it. It explains a lot of the other theories going around very well. If you want to see more videos like this, then definitely consider supporting us monthly over on patreon.com. Or if you don't have any spare cash, but you will be ordering lots of new Doctor Who merchandise, then using the Amazon links in the description down below helps support the channel, as I get a small commission when you click on those links and order Doctor Who stuff or really anything on Amazon. First off, things we need to accept. She's not a pre-Hartnell, she's not a post-Whittaker Doctor. We have to add in an extra regeneration along the way, or retcon either the War Doctor or the Meta-Crisis Doctor, and I don't think that's likely. And that brought me to the question of, well, whose regeneration have we not seen on TV that where you could insert in another regeneration? We've seen all of them except for the second Doctor into the third Doctor. All we saw the second Doctor was his face spinning around and being contorted, and then him spinning around, but then it just cuts to black and the episode ends. Then, in Spearhead from Space, the first Third Doctor episode, we see the Doctor stumble out of the TARDIS, and what we've all assumed up until this point were the second Doctor's clothes. However, if you look at it, the jacket really does look a lot like Ruth's Doctor's jacket. I really think that that's a bit of supporting evidence for this theory that Ruth is a Doctor between the second and third Doctor. My second bit of evidence from the TV show is the two Doctors. The second Doctor and Jamie in that episode know about the Time Lords, and for a long time this has been a problem because Jamie's only met the Time Lords once, and that was when he got his memory of the Doctor wiped and sent away. So why is he now traveling in the two Doctors with the second Doctor? Why does the second Doctor have this fancy whistle that calls the TARDIS to him? Like, that has led to novels. There was a novel by Terrence Dicks and plenty of other extended universe canon that has developed around a season 6B, a season we never saw where the second Doctor wasn't immediately regenerated and exiled to Earth. He was conscripted by the CIA to work for them on a couple of missions, and apparently he got Jamie back to work for him. So anyway, you can look up season 6B for yourself and see everything that's been written about it. Season 6B is another piece of evidence that helps support this theory that between the second Doctor's regeneration and the third Doctor stepping out of the TARDIS, the Doctor worked for the CIA at some point. Now I think that Ruth's Doctor is working for Gallifrey, like she says she is, and is working for the Celestial Intervention Agency, aka the CIA. And that's why she's doing missions for Gallifrey and is trying to get out of this work. She says this work isn't a job that you choose. Like, this is the Doctor being told, we can either exile you to Earth or you can work for us for a little bit. And maybe, getting Jamie back was part of the deal. Who knows? But I think that the second Doctor either did regenerate into Ruth's Doctor immediately after that point, or that the second Doctor worked for the Time Lords for a little while, then ended up regenerating in a way that we haven't seen yet into Ruth's Doctor. A lot of people are saying she doesn't recognize the sonic screwdriver, so therefore she must be a pre-Hartnell Doctor, and to me that makes no sense. The second Doctor's sonic screwdriver looked like a little flashlight, right? It didn't look like what many of the sonic screwdrivers would turn out to be in the future, and it certainly wouldn't look like the one that the 13th Doctor made out of spoons in Sheffield. I think that isn't enough of a reason to say that Ruth's Doctor didn't recognize the sonic screwdriver. I think she's still in that mindset of, I don't need a little device to get me out of everywhere. I can still think my way out of situations. Why doesn't the 13th Doctor remember being Ruth? I think that the CIA would have covered up having this extra regeneration of the Doctor working for them by eliminating the Doctor's memory of ever being Ruth and giving an extra regeneration to cover up the fact that they used a regeneration of the Doctor. That way everything can go on with very few people knowing ever about the Doctor's involvement with the CIA. I think it explains a lot in a really cool spy-based secret organization within the Time Lord's plotline. It doesn't retcon existing canon. It doesn't throw regenerations out of the window. You don't have to make the Morbius Doctor's canon. And while I admit there may be flaws in the plan, yeah, they're there, but they're not as big as having to make everybody believe that there were Doctors before Hartnell. Things we need to accept. Ruth's Doctor is not an alternate universe or unbound Doctor. And that's based off of what Chris Chibnall has said in interviews about this subject. He has categorically denied that that is the case. He says this is a real Doctor, and unless he's trying to fool us all and throw us all off the scent, then we have to accept that. Another thing we have to accept is that either the Doctor or Ruth have had their memories wiped of their knowledge of each other at some point in order to explain either of them not remembering each other. I do think that Ruth is the Doctor, not just somebody who thinks that she's the Doctor, because she got that credit billing in the episode, and so far all the promotion about it really seems to be saying this is an actual version of the Doctor. I don't think Ruth is a pre-Hartnell Doctor, for several reasons. First off, her TARDIS looks like a police box. We see on TV the moment that the first Doctor's TARDIS gets stuck in the shape of a police box. If Ruth's Doctor is a pre-Hartnell Doctor, then why does her TARDIS look like a phone box? Why does she call it a TARDIS? Having her be a pre-Hartnell Doctor ruins too much canon. Why not just make Ruth a future Doctor? The 11th Doctor was given an entire new regeneration cycle. The 12th Doctor had 11 regenerations left, and the 13th Doctor has 10 regenerations left. That would be so easy. Why do you need to create this whole paradox? I think that if you wanted to do this storyline, writing it in a way that you don't then have to cast Joe Martin as the next Doctor is a smart move, because it gives the next showrunner or the next casting team options as to whether they want Joe Martin as the next Doctor or whether they want to cast somebody else. I think Joe Martin's Doctor will end up being like a War Doctor or a Meta-Crisis Doctor. They're in the show, but they don't have their own 3 seasons on the show and 4 years of being the Doctor. I don't think Ruth is a future Doctor either, and that's because she's working for Gallifrey and she doesn't remember it being destroyed. And even if she is working for Gallifrey so far in the future that Gallifrey has somehow repopulated itself and rebuilt itself, a planet tends to remember being destroyed at least once by a Time War, never mind twice by the Master as well. Because if Ruth doesn't remember Gallifrey being destroyed, then that means that she doesn't remember any of the Time War, which means that not only does she not remember the 13th Doctor, she doesn't remember the 12th, 11th, 10th, 9th War, or 8th Doctors either, because all those Doctors knew about the Time War. It just doesn't make any sense why she wouldn't remember a big fact that she knew for half of her life. I think Ruth comes earlier in the Doctor's timeline. Anyway, that's my theory. Comment down below with what your theory is. My name is Alex Patterson. I hope to see you in the next video, and until then, keep growing your knowledge, collection, and connection with other Doctor Who fans. Bye!